So we have an opportunity to hear from the governor as she embarks on her first hurricane season as the leader of Virginia. Let's listen to Abigail Spanberger right now.
In talking through the series of events that occur, the time frames that exist from the very first moment that we get alerts that there may be a storm coming our way, what we just did inside was talk about the impact, the time frame, and all of the actions that we need to take along the way to ensure that we here are ready to be able to respond to communities across the Commonwealth, but importantly that we are communicating to our fellow Virginians the actions that they can take in preparation. We know that storms that start in the Atlantic or the Gulf can come north and cause severe damage in Virginia. We saw this with the devastation caused by Hurricane Helene, and communities are still working to recover and rebuild. We are working together to collaborate across state agencies, but first responders, community organizations, and individual Virginians are important, are essential to our effective disaster response. That's why we're here to talk to all Virginians about what we should be doing right now to proactively prepare for hurricane season. The first thing that we can all do to get prepared is to just make a plan. First, sign up for wireless emergency alerts so that if there is a storm coming, if there are emergencies coming your way, you get those alerts on your cell phone. If you need to evacuate this hurricane season along the way, you can get your family to safety faster if you have already thought about what to do. Where would you go? How will you get there? And figure out how to reconnect with family if you're not together at the time that a storm hits. Planning early allows us to think through the types of challenges, the types of hurdles we might face in the event of a big storm. Secondly, we can all make a kit. It's important to have emergency food, water, and other supplies to last at least 72 hours. If there's a little damage and you can't get out to the store, what do you need in your home? This includes things for your babies at home, young children, older loved ones, and pets. And finally, we can all prepare our homes ahead of a storm. Things like cleaning out our gutters or removing or securing loose items in the yard like lawn furniture, grills, or bikes that are left outside, thinking about what might happen if the wind picks up and a storm comes in strong. We might need to also cover doors or windows depending upon the severity of a storm, so making sure that we think through and are prepared to do that in the event that we need to. We should also be checking our carbon monoxide detectors batteries before a storm is ever on the radar. It's also worth noting that it can take up to 30 days for flood insurance to go into effect. So if that's a concern, make sure that you're checking into whether you have that insurance, and it is better not to wait until a storm is imminently coming our way. If you live in a coastal region of Virginia, I also want to make sure that you know what evacuation zone you live in. Knowing your zone lets you know whether you should be evacuating or sheltering in your home as a storm approaches. If you don't know your zone, you can use it, or you can find it out on VDEM's easy-to-use tool called knowyourzoneva.org. Again, that's knowyourzoneva.org. And the last thing I'll say is that the Virginia Department of Emergency Management is an incredible resource. All Virginians can go to their website, vaemergency.gov, to stay informed this hurricane season. At vaemergency.gov, you'll find additional information about the things I've mentioned today: making an evacuation plan, preparing your home, making a kit for those things you would need for up to 72 hours, and making sure you know what you need to know and that your loved ones know what they need to know to keep themselves safe in the event of a hurricane and the emergency. Again, you can also sign up for emergency alerts on a wireless emergency alert system so that you will know if there are emergencies, strong winds, weather coming your way. I want to thank every one of our partners who prepare every day for how to keep our community safe in the event of a disaster. Virginia State Police, the Virginia Department of Transportation, our National Guard, Virginia Department of Health, the Department of Social Services, and every other agency who is here at the vest when there are emergencies coming, and who participates in preparedness day in and day out so that if they are needed, we are all safer for that work. So remember, it is the beginning of hurricane season. We need to make a plan, make a kit, prepare our homes, sign up for those wireless alerts, and be ready. With preparedness that we are doing here at the state level, we are preparing to make sure that we can respond across our Commonwealth, and every Virginian should be doing the same at home. Thank you.
All right, Governor Abigail Spanberger, as we make our way through the first week of hurricane season.